episode 49 of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate, a young but passionate knitter and crocheter. You can find all of the links in the description box below to the places you can find me on social media, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already done so. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and then the notification bell right beside it so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I am super excited to be back with you guys for another episode. I cannot believe that this is episode 49. We are almost to 50. We are almost to that 1 year anniversary mark. It's kind of like the first anniversary I've ever celebrated, potentially. Anyway, I'm super excited about this episode. I have quite a few things to talk about. However, I do not have any finished objects this week. I was trying so hard to finish something yesterday, so that I could share it today as a finished object, but then I realized that I have a secret test that I'm currently working on, and it is due a lot sooner than I thought it was. So it has absorbed like every minute I have to spare the past little while. So, you know what? I don't have any finished objects to share except for one little thing in design talk. So let's just go ahead and hop on into a few works in progress. So I have 3 works in progress to talk about today. If you have been a long-time viewer of the podcast, or if you watched the past few episodes, you will probably notice that I'm not going to be sharing a couple of things. I have put 2 projects kind of on hold just for the time being so that I could focus on a couple of tests and some designs. But I can't wait to get back to those. So those are my 2 cardigans that I'm currently working on, the Olive Lights cardigan and the Sand and Ocean cardigan. Both of those things I cannot wait to work on again. I just can't as of this minute. You know, they don't have deadlines, so I need to focus on the things that do have deadlines first. So, with that being said, let's talk about my first work in progress. So, this is my Maple Grove cardigan. It is so close to being finished. I 100% could have finished it last night. But once I realized how close the deadline for the other test was, I knew that I needed to just stop for just, a day or less and finish that up and then work on this cardigan again and finish it up. But I am so close to being done with this, and I am just so excited about it. So I actually stopped at a good spot, though. It's going to be difficult to show, but there's something else that I wanted to talk about related to this cardigan. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't quite finish it, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. When we last talked about this, I think I might have just finished the back panel. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that's right. In the last podcast episode, I think I was on the back panel. Anyway, I have since done, whenever that was, I have since done both front panels. So they are basically half of the back panel, the same length, half the width. So the same, wow, I don't know what I'm saying. I've done both front panels, that's my point. And then I have also completed both sleeves. I actually did them yesterday. So, I mean, like seriously, I could have finished it. It's a little bit frustrating that I couldn't, once I realized that, but it's okay. So anyway, I love this thing so much. It fits perfectly. Obviously, I haven't been able to try it on in like its full potential yet because I've only seen one side, but I am obsessed with this. I love it so much. Long, oversized, drop shoulder cardigans with this construction is like my favorite cardigan construction ever. I love it so much. It is the construction that I have used for my garment designs. It's just my favorite, and I firmly believe that if you have a favorite, do it and stick to it because it's the best for a reason, in your opinion. So, love this so much. All I have left to do is the pockets, which are going to be awesome. They are optional, but I have enough yarn, so I'm going to do them. This might be my first crochet cardigan that actually has pockets. I think it is. I'm pretty sure. So that's exciting. And pockets are going to work so well for this style, so I'm really excited about that. And then it has a border that goes all the way around the neckline and collar here. And then I believe it also has a hem too. So none of that is really going to take long. It's just those last finishing touches. I wanted to talk about one thing that I think is super helpful. So for the construction of this cardigan, you work from the bottom up and then you work up and over for the front panels. And so that leaves you with a split seam. Well, hold up. Let's get this situated here. I have never done sleeves like this. I should mention that. That is something I have not done. Anyway, so you end up with an open seam right here that you will then seam all the way up. And so you either have to leave short tails, cut them and weave them in, and then use a separate long strand of yarn to sew that seam up, or you leave one single long tail and use that to seam all the way up. So this specific pattern called for you to leave one tail that was very long. So that's what I did, just because it's what the pattern said. It really doesn't matter. It's not going to change much. But, you know, I'm testing this pattern. I'm going to follow it to a T. And so that is what I chose to do. And I don't know about you, but long tails on projects drive me crazy. They always get tangled with the yarn that I'm actually working with from the ball. I don't know what it is, but it bothers me so much. So what I did for this project is I got a bobbin. This is just a bobbin that I would use for embroidery floss. I actually have another one right here. So this is what it looks like. These are actually plastic. They're really nice, but they are more commonly made of paper. Or cardboard. You could also make one out of cardboard. Like it's not difficult at all. And then you could also get some that are made for knitters for like doing color worked flat, where you have to have like multiple strands of the same yarn going out once. A little too complicated for my my personal taste, but they do exist and they are used for that purpose. But what I did is I just wound my super long tail around the bobbin and then secured it by just sticking the end through that little notch there. And there you go. So it's not going to go anywhere. Like, it has stayed put the entire time I've been crocheting the other panel, and I seamed the other panel already, and I did both sleeves with it like this. And it has not come undone. It has been amazing. I kind of just love this on the whim the other day, but I will 100% be doing it from now on, because it's so much simpler to leave a longer tail and not have to worry about joining a whole new strand of yarn. But, you know, it drove me crazy before, so really excited that I found that trick, and I cannot wait to finish this thing. I love this stitch pattern so much. I am just in love with it. I love it so much. So, I am using Cascade Pacific Worsted in the colorway 102, and as you can see, this is not a full skein. This is a partial skein, and then I actually have this little ball left over too. So I'm going to be using those first, and we'll see if I have to join a whole new ball or not. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I really don't have that much further to go, but the collar is going to take up quite a bit of yarn just because it's a really long area to crochet around. So that is this project. Like I said, I love it so much, and I can't wait to finish it. It's really hard to show it now because it's so big, and it's even harder to try to put back into the bag in a, you know, nice manner. I'm feeling right now. Okay, well, hopefully I'll have time to work on it later today anyway, so it'll be okay. Actually, you know, as I say that, I'm actually probably not going to work on this today. Today is Sunday, and I have, like, the huge itch to work on scrappy projects. But I just have to get that other test done first, so the struggle is real. Anyway, there's so many things that I want to work on, but there's just not enough hours in the day. It's that simple. So the second project, can't talk, the second project that I am working on is a pair of socks. These are my April socks, so they are the pair of socks that I am knitting kind of dedicated to this month. I'm trying to do this little challenge every month for the entire year. And here is my April pair. So, it took me quite a bit of time to actually get these started, which is ridiculous. I was just, again, working on so many other things. But these are the Candy Mountain Socks by Julie of Twin Stitches Designs. It is a pattern I have been wanting to do for so long. And I'm so happy that I finally am. and they're going so well. So here's what they look like right now. Yeah, I love them so much. They're knit from the cuff down. I have actually finished the leg, and I have placed the yarn for my afterthought heel. And yeah, they're going so great. I love them so much. So I'm using Knit Picks Stroll for these socks. The gray is Dove Heather. It is a like a single 50-gram skein. Here's actually what it looks like. Oh, I thought I had a whole skein over here, but this is what it looks like in just the Dove Heather colorway. Anyway, so I'm using that for the background and the main color. So I'll be using it for the heels, toes, and cuffs as well. As you can see, I have a little bit of a tangled mess going on here. That's going to be fun to work out later, but anyway, and then for the different colors, I am using a mini set from Knit Picks. I don't exactly remember the like color theme of this set. I want to say it was like wildflower or something like that, but I will link it down below so that you can check it out. But some of the colors are this pink, which I have already used once. I have used the purple once. I am on the yellow right now. And then the last color is this color, which is actually eucalyptus. I use the full 100-gram total skein of this to make my newest sock design, which I'll talk about later. So yeah, that is just the mini version of that color. And I'm having so much fun with these. I just started them just a few days ago. Again, I'm going to be booking it to get them done before the end of April, which is ridiculous, but it's alright. They're really quick, honestly, to knit, and I'm having so much fun doing it. So, yeah, that is that project. I'm loving these. Love this pattern. I love all of Julie's patterns. I enjoy following Julie herself. She's amazing. And then the last work in progress is another test, and it's another sock. So these are for Claire of Perfectly Knotted. She has just come out with, or just started the testing process of the DK weight version of her Sporty Shorty socks. So the Sporty Shorty socks is a pattern that was originally written for fingering weight. They are a super cute ankle sock pattern. I tested them a while back, and then I actually knit a second pair a couple of months ago, probably now, but I used a like one solid color instead of the striping that she calls for. And so now I am testing her worsted weight or DK version of these socks. So here is my first sock. It is complete. It was so quick. Oh my goodness. And it is so squishy and warm. I love them so much. So this pattern is knit from the cuff down. Then it has a heel flap and gusset. And then this amazing arch support as well. And then it goes into the toe, of course. So that is this sock so far. Again, I love it so much. I'm using the same yarn that she used for hers, which is Knit Picks High Desert. I'm obsessed with this yarn. I love it so much. I'm using the colorways Cottonwood and what is this one? Quail. So I'm using these two. Like you probably already have noticed, this is worsted weight, and these are called the DK weight Sporty Shorty socks. So it really works great for either DK or sport weight. No, DK or worsted weight, just depending on your gauge. But I was able to meet perfect gauge with this specific yarn, which is great. So I'm having so much fun with these. I'm hoping to get the second one done this week. And yeah, super, super quick. Definitely will not be my last pair. And then I'm actually using, what size needle? 2.5 millimeter. No, size 2.5, 3.0 millimeter. I believe I went down a size from what the pattern suggests. If I remember correctly. I think that's right. But anyway, I'm having so much fun with this project. I haven't worked on the second one yet because I haven't started it, but I finished the other one a couple of days ago now, so now I am itching to cast on the second one. It's been a lot of fun. So that is it for works in progress. I do have a couple of designs that I want to share, so let's just talk about those. two, I think. Yes. Oh, no, three. Three designs that I want to talk about. So first off is something that I finished this week. I recently created a video tutorial for and updated the pattern for the Beachcomber dishcloth. I love this pattern so much. It's honestly one of my favorites. It's just so simple. I love it so much. So anyway, you can find this free pattern on my blog, or you can find the PDF on Etsy and Ravelry. And you can also find the video tutorial for it on my YouTube channel now. So I hope you enjoy crocheting your own dishcloth if you decide to make one. I'm having so much fun creating the video tutorials for this dishcloth collection. And yeah, it's a great way to really learn how to crochet better. I did the very first dishcloth was the basic beginner dishcloth, and that one is so simple. It uses only the single crochet stitch, and it is designed for like absolute beginners. And then the next dishcloth was the alternate dishcloth, which is very similar to the basic beginner, except it has a fancy little technique that you use throughout the stitch pattern, and that makes it so fun and a little bit unique. And then I've done this one, of course. So I'm just having a lot of fun with this collection and creating all the video tutorials, and I'm so glad that you guys are loving them too. So check that out if you're interested. The yarn that I used for this, by the way, is we crocheted this sheet in mint, and I just love this color. I think it is so bright and fun for spring and just for dishcloths as a whole. And I just love the texture too. So yeah, I really love this dishcloth. Then the second thing that I wanted to briefly talk about is these socks. So the Carousel Socks are officially in testing. Thank you so much to everyone who applied to be a tester. It took a little while for me to go through all of the applications, but I did select testers, so that is in testing right now. This yarn is so fun though. This is the full skein version of eucalyptus that I showed earlier, and I am just so obsessed with this colorway. I think it is so beautiful. It highlights the texture so well. And yeah, I'm so excited about this pattern, so I can't wait to release it later on. Right now I am shooting for the beginning of May, I'm thinking, for a release. I do have a pattern coming out at the end of April. And then the only other option would be like the last day of April or my birthday, which is actually May 1st. So I'm not entirely settled on a date yet. A date yet. It kind of depends on how my testers, continue the pattern and make sure there's aren't any, major things that form a glitch. But yeah, really excited to release this pattern soon, and I hope that you guys are excited to knit them. I love it so much. So I'm going to be knitting the second sock to go with this pair here soon. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So love that pattern. And then the last design that I wanted to talk about is my current blanket. I'm actually working on two blankets. The first I'm not going to show this week because I am hard at work on it to put all the finishing touches to it before it's released later this month. But then this blanket is knitted, and it will be released, I'm thinking, towards the end of May. And I love it so much. So I haven't done very much work on it this week. Like I said, I've been working on other things. But I have narrowed down what I'm doing for the chart, and it is going absolutely amazingly. I think last week I shared it. I had just finished the garter edge, and I have now lost stitches. That's what I have done. I have now completed the first chart repeat. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, I love it so much. I've actually done the whole first skein. I'm a little bit of a ways into the second repeat actually, but anyway, this is one entire skein of Knit Picks Swish Bulky. I'm using the colorway Squirrel Heather, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It kind of changes colors just a little bit in light. I mean, it's just the way the light is reflecting. It's not actually changing colors, but it has like almost a purple hint to it if it's the right lighting. Like right now to my eyes it looks just ever so slightly purple, but to screen it's definitely more brown. So I don't know, I love it so much. It's beautiful, and I cannot wait to have this blanket done because it is going to be so, so cozy. But anyway, I'm using size 10 needles, these super fun rainbow ones, and I am obsessed with them. They're so cute. So anyway, I'm having so much fun with this project, and I'm really hoping to be able to make a lot more progress on it this week because it is so fun to work on. I just haven't had the time to do so. Life has been crazy. Absolutely crazy. But here is what a new cake of that yarn looks like, if you're curious. It's all ready to go. I have just had zero time to actually knit on the thing. But anyway, it's okay. It'll happen. I will have time soon. So that is it for all of the knit and crochet content. I'm working on so many things behind the scenes, and I just can't wait to get a few of these tests done so that I can focus on some designs. It has been a lot of fun. So anyway, I do have a little devotional to talk about, and of course a life update, so let's go ahead and hop into that. Okay, so for devotional today, I want to do something that I've really talked about before, but I want to kind of go on a different tangent about it as well. So, as most of you probably know, if you've been following me for a while, I keep a gratitude journal. Every single day, I make a little list of just 10 little things that I am grateful for. About 10 days ago, actually, going by the numbers, I have been doing this for over a year now, and it has been amazing. The art of practicing gratitude is really a mindset that we should all have, and is something that I really wanted to work hard to be able to not only maintain, but also uphold for years to come, forever. Like, I wanted it to, just be something that is always on my mind. Just being grateful for what I have and the people I have in my life, and the opportunities I've been given, and I just think it's so, so important. And it's so easy to just fall into a pit of, struggling and focusing on those struggles instead of the good things that are happening. So this was kind of my way of finding light in difficult situations, and always being grateful for something, no matter how small that little thing might appear. So I highly recommend to keep a journal, of course, but I also just, want to encourage you to always be grateful, and always, don't take for granted the things you do have, because you never know what tomorrow is going to bring. So kind of an interesting little tangent that I was thinking about yesterday. So, my brothers and my dad and I watched Wonder Woman 1984 yesterday. It came out quite a while ago now, but, we're late to the party, per usual. And we just watched it yesterday, and it was really good. It was a lot different than the first Wonder Woman. Personally, I don't think I liked it quite as much, if you're curious. But anyway, it was still really good. And one of the things that was like a recurring theme, and it's not in this world, and if you watch the movie, you know that, but one of the, the bad guy in this action movie had taken a special stone and kind of turned himself into it. And, the gist of this stone was you hold it in your hand and you wish something, and that thing happens, but bad things also happen as a result of getting your wish. So, if you wish for, for example, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie in case you haven't watched it yet and want to, but the character that, I can't say the character, Wonder Woman herself, Diana is her name, she wished for somebody to come back that she wanted to see again, and that's, again, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but anyway, she wished for somebody to come back, and that person did, but at the same time, she lost something that was really, really important to her as well. And so, really, the point that I want to try to make through talking about this is these people that had this stone wished for something to happen. They wanted this specific thing, whether that thing was money, or a person, or a new house, or peace, or, whatever that thing was. They got it, but then they also lost something that was so important and valuable to them. And something that I kept saying throughout this movie is the lack of gratitude. You know, it was completely surrounded by, I want this, I want that, I wish this would happen, I wish this wouldn't happen, and there was no focus on being grateful for what you do have until the end of the movie when the problem was being resolved. So it was kind of just a good example of the power of gratitude, and even though that wasn't, you know, the whole point of the movie, I do think it's a really important lesson to be learned throughout that movie and throughout other things in your life. So I just want to encourage you with that today, to always be grateful. You know, a little bit of a life update, jumping right in. I am currently in a difficult season. You know, college is not easy, and I'm at the very end of my second semester, so it's finals are happening, last minute assignments are due, you know, finishing all of those things off, and it is so hard to remain grateful through it all because it has been a difficult journey, to say the least, but it's still been so good, and I'm still so grateful for the opportunity to even go to college and to experience this season. No matter how difficult it is, I've grown so much through it, and I think that's so important to recognize. So I just wanted to encourage you with that today. I hope you are having an amazing week. I have quite a busy week ahead, and I am looking forward to updating you guys all about that next week for episode 50. I cannot believe we are almost to that point, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know down below in the comments what you are working on this week and anything that you would like to see from me in the future. If the comments are being frustrating, I know, it's so frustrating, but if they are, don't hesitate to send me an email to thegracefultangle@gmail.com. I am more than happy to continue those conversations through that platform as well. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all again next time. Bye.